We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We got a big day today, everybody, and we are coming to you direct from the Stress Less studio. We are so excited to have Stress Less back on board. Make sure that you guys check out centerlinedistribution.net to go get your Stress Less. You're going to use the promo code JRBOO, and that's going to get you 20% off of your Stress Less orders for the month of October. So really excited about that. And as always, thank you to Horse Trailer Pros, such a longtime supporter of the show, the title sponsor of the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. And they take care of everything for you there. Any of your horse trailer needs some bearings redone, your annual maintenance. They do an awesome job acid washing out your trailers too. I try to get that done every year. And just generally running over stuff. Any issues you have, go check out Horse Trailer Pros. So Rick, this is big times coming up. We've got so much going on. We got the mandatory outing up at Lochmoy this weekend. We've got Bookalow going on, the Nations Cup final. This is like, it's happening fast now.
It's going quick. Yeah, and this I got back from Stableview, and that was a good event, and I got the ability to interview Sydney Elliott and Karl Slezak, which we'll show on the show later on after Mike Winter. But yeah, I mean, I was Alyssa Phillips, who we've had on the show, just got word over the weekend that they needed her to go up to this final outing. She was a reserve rider on the Pan Am team, and there might be some changes. And what I heard, she might be a traveling reserve now. I don't know if Tammy won't be, but you could have heard it here. So we'll see what happens for the final outing at Lochmoy for all of them. Yeah, it's been exciting. Bokomo, yeah, I actually saw Phil and Evie. They're getting ready and prepared to leave on Sunday to go to Bookalow. Wow, they're traveling a lot. They're also going to Poe. So he goes to Bookalow, he comes home and does Maryland, and then he goes to Poe. Can you imagine that?
And then he goes, no, he doesn't. I was thinking I have on my list here, and I had him on the Pan Ams, but he's not on the Pan Ams.
He's not there.
Bookalow this weekend. Yeah.
So it's, busy times for everybody. Bookalow is going to be exciting. Who's on our Nation Cup team?
So we've got James Alliston, Cassie Sanger, Jenny Brannigan, and Philip Dutton on the team. Then as far as other Americans over there, we've got Hallie Kuhn on Cute Girl, Tiana Caudre on, I'm going to screw up this name, D'Artagnan. And then Cosby Green is over there on Yos. I think it's UFO, but it could be UFO de la Quidam. And that's cool because I'm sure with the Yos name, that comes from Jose Ortilli, and it must be Argentine.
Yos Baco.
Capilopoulos. What?
And you used to have Yos Baco.
I did. I love that horse. And there's been a lot of very nice Yos horses over here. So it's exciting for everybody over at the Nations Cup. It is well underway. I think you can actually live stream that. So I'm going to give a little shout out here. Go check out Eventing Nation. They should have the link on there to be able to live stream the cross country from Bookalow. And I will say this. Have you been to Bookalow before?
No, I've only lived vicariously through you.
Right. So I've not been to all the great events in the world, but I would say of the ones that I've been to, I would put Bookalow on the short list of events to go to, whether you're competing or spectating. And honestly, spectating might be more fun. It is such a good time. The cross country is kind of weird. In its own way, the ground is good, yet not. It makes you kind of fight through. And the thing that always amazed me is we get over here in this country and it's like, oh, the ground's a little wet. I don't know that we should run. And you go over there and it's literally like part of the cross country is through a plowed farm field, and nobody says a thing. They don't even raise an eyebrow. They're like, yeah, this is what you got to do. It's Bookalow. Like, you just go and you fight through it.
Are you trying to convince yourself to stop talking about footing?
No, because I think deep footing is fine. I think hard footing is not.
I think you're right. I have heard that. In fact, somebody made that point to me the other day.
It's
I
probably
think it
the
was Alice. I think it was Alice and the Canadian Allison's husband. Um, yeah, said that to me. So yeah, good point. Hard footing is definitely more detrimental.
yeah,
To your point.
yeah,
Hey, a lot did happen at Stableview. We had some big winners in Phil and Z, and
yep.
they won. That he's aimed at Maryland 5-star with that horse. He led from start to finish on Z. Second place was Lucine. She was second,
Yep.
and then third place was
Come
Coon.
on.
I think Sarah Coon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
I
Sarah
mean, and
Lucine Bellissimo. Yep. And so
yeah,
just to go on with those results, yeah, Sarah Coon I've been watching her progress on this horse. Her horse is Mr. Cash Van de Star. Have you seen her go any?
I've watched her run it a few times. Yes.
I'm very impressed. She's been very low key, kind of coming
She
up,
is that way. Yeah.
and she's run this horse 10, I think, in 10 4-stars, 10 completions. And she's getting solid in all three phases. So Sarah, we might have to have her on sometime soon. She was third at the 4-star, so good for her on that horse. The 3-star winner was
Come on. Come on.
I'm coming,
Come on.
but Allison Springer on
There
No
you go.
May Moon. Jenny Cross was second. Alex O'Neill was third on his gray horse. Or no, not his gray horse, another one. So hold on, I'm going to get the 2-star winner,
Okay.
Elisa Wallace, on the
Boom.
Sabor
I know
quality,
her.
and she was fourth. So just to finish up a couple more, they had the young horse, 6-year-old to 7-year-old young horse. Allison Springer won the 2-star young horse, and Allie Knowles won the 3-star young horse on her PS I Love You. It was its first 3-star.
And
then
did they do a good
Surratt,
job with those classes?
yeah, what in what way?
Like, did they promote them? And was it a big deal throughout the competition, or did they just kind of get lost in the competition?
They promoted them more than the 2-star and 3-star.
Okay.
So it
That's
was put a level above those two. They did make a special effort at the end to do recognition of awards to the young horse part of it. So yeah, they did. And then just a shout out to Briggs Surratt on his horse Booming Boudron, his first advance run over basically the same 4-star course, and he finished in third place. So
and
congratulations.
looked awesome. I saw the video you sent over. He looked
Yeah.
great. What a horse. That thing is a cross-country machine.
I couldn't believe it. He got locked onto the flags and just, those lines, those direct lines when you go, oh, I'll bend it out just a little bit to give yourself more room. They were direct lines on every single line. I was very impressed.
Yeah, gotta love a good thoroughbred, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think to your point, sometimes we have a little fault in dressage and show jump, but in this case, it's going to be Briggs' fault, not the horses.
What? Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's always the rider's fault. It's never the
Right.
horse,
Exactly.
unless it happens to me. So I think the last thing I would just leave it with is I'm going to predict, and having been there myself, I'm not hoping this, but I'm going to predict that there is going to be some changes in the U.S. Pan Am team before it actually goes. I think you're going to have at least one horse rider combination swap out. And I think everybody needs to be watching Lockmoy this weekend to see how those results go. And I'm not saying this like, ooh, this is exciting stuff. It is exciting stuff. And again, having been there, it is no fun. But I think they've got such good reserves on that team. It is all going to come down to how they run this weekend. And then a lot of stuff that we aren't privy to as far as veterinary things. And I don't have any inside information. I'm just making a prediction from having seen the way horses are going this year. I think we need to really be watching Lockmoy this weekend and see how everybody comes out of that event, because I wouldn't be surprised if in a week's time that those names have shuffled around a little bit.
I agree with you. I think that's a precursor to why Alyssa Phillips was changing her whole life to get her horse up there on Wednesday. And You know, I think you're spot on. I think there might be some changes. At least I know there's some changes to the traveling reserve. So,
Right.
you know, with that being said, I'm gonna be watching like you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we should do now, Rick, is probably take a break, and then we're going to catch up with a Canadian Pan Am member, Mike Winter. He's going to join us from his home over in the UK, up in Cirencester. So we're excited to get Mike on. So thank you again to Horse Trailer Pros. Great company, and we are thrilled to be coming to you guys from the Stress Less studio. Remember, go to Centerline. Sorry.
Which I'm not meant to interrupt. Just so everybody watching, we are building the studios and they will be here soon.
Yes.
Not in them.
Yeah. I guess I would say this right now is the Stress Less studio. But yeah, it's going to be better. We're going to have a real location here soon. We've been shuffling around.
My guest house wasn't a real location, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Your guest house was an amazing location. You're kicking us out.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to figure that out. And it's very exciting for us and very exciting for Stress Less to have them involved. So go to centerlinedistribution.net, use the code JRBOO, JRBOO, for the month of October. That gets you 20% off as a listener, viewer, watcher, whatever you are, of the John and Rick show. All right. So
well done.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick show? Contact John at 352-875-8622
or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Your cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. And thank you to Stress Less for our studio sponsorship. That's new on board, John and Mike. So that's really cool. And also, this is our EquiBrew segment. So EquiBrew is a great live probiotic that helps your horse's gut health. Really a great product out there. Even over in England, Mike, it's starting to get used by Lucinda Green. So we're hoping that it gets bounded over there in a little bit.
And before we go too much further, one thing that's super important that we got to mention is for the entire month of October, our listeners get 20% off of Stress Less. All you have to do is go to centerlinedistribution.net and use the promo code JRBOO, because it's Halloween, right? JRBOO, and you get your 20% off. So make sure you guys do that, centerlinedistribution.net. So now that business is out of the way, Rick,
we'd like to introduce Mike Winter here, newly named to the Pan Am team for the Canadian team. Welcome, Mike. Welcome back. You've been on the show quite a few times. We love having you. So congratulations. And you also have another big win over there in England you can tell us about.
Oh, thank you, John and Rick. It's great to be back. And I love listening to all your segments. And it's a great way to pass time when I'm driving or it's always really great. You got some great people coming on and really fun to listen to.
I appreciate that when you don't have anything better to do and you're driving for hours, you turn us on. Thank you.
Hey, Mike. So thanks for listening. And also now you just won a national championship with a 5-year-old. That's pretty big stuff. Tell us about that horse and then we'll get into the Pan Ams.
It's very exciting. I mean, to go back a little bit to the beginning when I bought him as a 3-year-old from friends of mine in Holland. He was just loose jumping at the time. I bought him, vetted him. He got sick and got stuck over there. Couldn't come to England. I finally got him, I think, in March of his 4-year-old year. I did some Burley Young event horse classes with him as a 4-year-old. And then as a 5-year-old, and I sold half of them to a long-time owners of mine, Josh and Hazel Thompson, just because I thought a lot of the horse, and they're great supporters of mine. So we own him together with them. And this year I did him on what we call a half-season ticket. So I competed him in the unaffiliated circuit in England, mostly Cotswold Cup, which is our quite a strong competitive unaffiliated circuit we have. And then starting in July, I competed him in a few 5-year-old classes, qualified him for the championship. I think of his 8 runs this year, I think he's won 6 of them. I think in the Power League, his average finish score is 25 point something. He's quite a competitive horse. And he won the national championships. He tied winning the dressage on a 26 and jumped double clear in the time, closer to the optimum time than the person I was tied with. So that was exciting. We were tied going into cross country. I went first. I gave her a 5-second window, which is quite, put the pressure on her. She went a little bit faster than that. And so that secured the win for me.
Boom.
Wow.
That's amazing. What's the, pardon my ignorance here, you said the Power League, what's that?
So we've got a couple things. Well, first of all, we've got national championships at every level, which an age class. So the 4-year-olds do what we call 90. The 5-year-olds do what they call, which is actually a 110 now. The 6-year-olds do a 2-star. The 7-year-olds do a 3-star, and the 8 and 9-year-olds do a 4-star. And the Power League is where they track all the 5-year-olds in the country, and they average their finish scores and then pit them against each other. So showing, I think he ended up 3rd in the Power League, over maybe 2nd or 3rd in the Power League overall. They're quite into the equi ratings and statistics and things like that. And it's a good way for owners and a good way to promote ourselves and to promote the age classes. And winning those things, there were, I think, about 80 horses in it, and 80 horses who were all prolific winners and had to qualify to be there. So to win that is quite a big deal. It's, is exciting when you buy young horses. You think a lot of them and they start to show you they've got that kind of talent.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, no, I think anything you can do to promote the young horses like that is neat. And I don't know, I'll have to maybe find out a little more off the air, because that's a pretty cool idea. Maybe we can get something like that going over here.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And it's also exciting for breeders because his breeders follow him as well. And, you know, these sport horse breeders, I mean, he was really bred to be a jumper. You know, he's by a stallion called Dibadoo who jumped, I think, to 160. And then he's Quasimodo and Heraldic on the bottom. So Quasimodo jumped to 160. Heraldic's a full thoroughbred that jumped to 150. So it's, you know, all the people involved, whether it be the breeders in Holland, the dealers who are friends of ours that we bought him through, the owner who went in half with me, you know, all these things. It's, you know, the more sort of there is out there in those sort of ways of those statistical analysis of performance, it gives them something to be excited about.
Yep. You know, John, we do have the young event horse over here, but I don't think it's on the scale of what Mike's talking about. So I would like to get more information on how that works as well.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, you say you got the horse in Holland from some dealer friends of yours. Do you want to give your contacts away?
Listen, they're a really nice couple, and they
and all you have to do is to go to wayfairairaventing.com
yeah.
and Mike can hook you up with a trip to go see all these lovely horses.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are not like, they would get them straight raw from the breeders and loose jump them, break them in, maybe take them to the odd training show. And a lot of our people that come over wanting to buy horses, they want to know that it goes cross country or jumps a ditch or goes through water. And we take the risk on the young horse side, and we don't know that when we buy them. So everyone sort of has their place, and sort of like in Holland, the breeders breed horses, and then the producers, breakers do that job. And it's not that everybody's a top professional as you would define it in America. So it's quite interesting. There's experts on, you know, loose jumping and getting them ready for stallion inspection and all that stuff. It's a very wide industry, and it's really interesting going over there. Much like France.
Yeah, I was going to say it's really cool, and it's something, all joking aside, I'd love to go do sometime with you, with the caveat that I think part of the reason that in America we don't do that more often is, like, for me to go look for raw horses in Holland is a much bigger investment by the time I get them back to America.
Yeah, for sure.
Than it is somebody who's based in Europe, where you guys can go and you can, you know, obviously there's a risk, but there's less risk. You don't have a $10,000 flight on top of it. But it'd be cool to do.
And also, like, the longer we're over here, the more we understand breeding and understand one of the problems in equestrian sport in general is everybody sort of has a point of view, and that point of view comes from their historical reference of, like, a great thoroughbred like Molokai, who is one of the greatest horses America ever had. But if you don't understand modern breeding and you're not involved in it and speaking to the breeders and the producers and looking at the horses at the top level, you don't really form these better opinions that can sort of shape what you buy and what you produce. And, you know, I did an interesting thing for Canada where I was talking about thoroughbred percentage. And when you looked at sort of those upper level horses, it seemed like when you drop below 40%, you were equally less likely to podium as in when you went above sort of 63% thoroughbred. So, like, it was a huge deficit to go above 63 and a huge deficit to go below 40. But then there's anomalies like My Bomb or Ballamore Class, or at the top, Colorado Blue. You know, so it doesn't mean there aren't anomalies, but as a norm, you look at horses like London 52, who happens to be 52% thoroughbred, who's won almost, you know, like most of the 5 stars going at the moment. So it is interesting to look at those things.
So Happy Times wins the 5-year-old championship. What's next for him? Is he on holiday now? Do you get to keep that ride? Are you going to sell him? What's the story?
So for now, we're keeping him because the owner's quite keen to keep him. I rode a 3-star horse for them, for the family, which was the son's horse. And that horse, unfortunately, ended up being a wobbler and had to be retired. And then shortly thereafter, the condition caught up with him and he passed away. And so they're very excited to have another horse that's, you know, doing well. And for Emma and I, who are in the process of buying a farm, selling him would probably be the best commercial choice. But I don't have a big string of horses, so having good quality ones is the priority, and he's a very good quality one. And then he's on holiday, so we pulled his hind shoes off, and we pulled off my daughter Amelia's horse, Walk, who she lovingly refers to as Waffles, pulled his hind shoes off. He did the 6-year-old national championships with Amelia, and they went out in in our sort of turnaway field, sort of like a 6-acre field, to have a holiday till, well, we haven't really planned when we're bringing them in, but they're having a proper holiday with no hind shoes and no rugs on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, a well-deserved holiday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What we should probably do here, guys, is take a brief break and then come back. And then, Rick, I think we need to get into the Pan Ams and start some trash talking to our Canadian friend here.
Let's do it.
So, again, thank you to Equibrew for sponsoring this segment. You guys are the best. I use it all the time. And we are going to be right back in our Stressless studio with Mike Winter to keep going on about the Pan American Games. And again, don't forget, guys, that 20% off for all of our listeners at centerlinedistribution.net. Use the promo code JRBOO.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side, and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are coming to you from our Stressless studios. Remember to go into centerlinedistribution.net, use the promo code JRBOO, that's JRBOO, and you get 20% off of everything for the month of October. Because it's Halloween, it's JRBOO. I'm assuming that's what it means. So we are back here with Mike. Mike, thanks for sticking around. And Rick, why don't you go nuts on Mike and El Mundo at the Pan American Games?
Yeah, congratulations, Mike. That's terrific. We just interviewed in this show Karl Slezak on his.
I think he's actually coming up. We haven't gotten to him yet.
Well, he's going to be on the show, so
Yes.
we probably will do that in the intro as well. But on Hot Bobo, I just saw him at Stableview, had a great run. You have a great team put together. I mean, it's been long for the Canadian team to really try to start pulling some really good talent, and I think y'all have it. Can you tell us about what your thoughts are with your team, how you're gonna get prepared and travel on down to Chile, since you're like a lone wolf over there in England and have to get down there by yourself? What's going on for that?
Yeah, so no, it's very exciting. And just to sort of rewind a bit, Canadian High Performance, I saw you had Bruce Mandeville on. We've been working really, really hard in a restructuring, developing a strategic plan so that we can sort of navigate how we go forward, and decisions then sort of that strategic plan works as a compass for making decisions as far as selection, making decisions about program, grants, everything else, you know. And that's been a huge part of this. Like, that is sort of more exciting for me and more is my passion project than actually going to the Pan American Games. I'm excited about that as well, but I'm excited about the group of people we have together. And Rebecca has been super, and Emily Gilbert has been, you know, really spearheading the whole thing. So, which also takes a huge weight off my shoulders, because as a rider rep before this new group was put together, I had a lot on my plate. So, first of all, that's really exciting. And heading down, I've been working with Rebecca here in England, so because she's based here, and she's been really good for me. And she has a really quiet way about her, and when you're training and maybe you say something she doesn't totally agree with, she sort of gives you a quiet stare, and you think to yourself, oh, maybe I should rethink that. And she just has a really good way about her, and it's not so much about teaching lessons, but helping us on sort of training pathways. And that's different for everybody. At the moment, I use Rebecca, Angela Tucker, as well as Grant Wilson for show jumping. So I've got sort of my own little team going, and I know Rebecca has steered other Canadians in other directions as well for, you know, individual skill development, which I think is really, really helpful. So I think I have Rebecca coming tomorrow morning to run through the dressage. I'm flying out with show jumpers, I think, on the 22nd that are going from Europe, and we fly out of Luxembourg. And I had my final prep run at Little Downham, which is a 4-star short one day we have here. So that is ship in. I went up there with Kendall Lahari. I gave her a ride. We shipped in. I think we left my place about 6 a.m. Arrived, did the dressage, had time to walk the cross country course. Couldn't catch a break to watch the show jumping, so just had to watch a few, and then on to cross country, and that I had a good run there. And I just have, I think, another 4 gallops. I think after I galloped day before yesterday, I think 4 more gallops before I ship out. And I'm excited to get, you know, together with the rest of the team down there. And they're having a staging or training camp in Ocala, which I wish I could be part of, but I think funding wise, flying my horse twice doesn't really make sense. And since I have the opportunity to work with Rebecca here all the time, that line of communication is well established, and hopefully that will bode well on the day.
Very good. So it's interesting, and I'm happy for the Canadians to, you know, your hard work, Mike, and, you know, as a rider and trying to get that all put together. But I do see some cohesive climbing the stairs where you're starting to get things put together. And I'm looking at your team, and I've said this to Karl, and John, you can weigh in. I mean, y'all have a strong team. You can get out there, and I know the United States is sending a pretty strong team as well, and they're doing their last last gallops this coming week after Lochmoy run. But what do you think your bets are of winning the gold?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I may have a different mentality personally than other people. I think all you're in control of is the performance you put forward on the day. You're not in control of what other people put forward. I think the equirating stuff with HPRs is very interesting, you know, like when you see the different horses both on the Canadian team and against other athletes who have qualified at different competitions. How those HPRs line up as far as their competitiveness in different places, whether that be Bromont, Tryon, Bramham, you know, wherever. I think that's been a very helpful tool in making these estimations. But I think we have a good team that are all quality horses and experienced riders. Lindsay is our only debutante team rider, but I think she has a good relationship with the horse. She'll be well supported. And yeah, I have a very good feeling that things could go very well, and I hope we multiple medal at least, and I hope there's some gold in there.
Hey, John. John, are you there? John's frozen. You can still hear me, right, Mike?
Okay.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah,
got you back. All right. I'm
Here
here.
you are. You're
Sorry.
just like You're in Wonderland.
Yeah, no, it froze partway through there. I heard everything, just your pictures froze, and I figured I probably was gone. But
Well,
I'm back now.
I think Mike's modest in his way of just going about it. But
That's what I was gonna say. Let's start talking some trash here, Winter.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean, we got to get it on, right? We got to. So, you know, I think you've got a strong contingency, and I agree with Lindsay. I've watched her go out. I think she's going to do a strong showing. She's always, you know, there and doing all the homework and just continually being pretty steady on her methods of what she's doing. And then you got the hot Bobo mare with Karl. You know, he had a great run. He was funny because he said it's hard to go run slow on a course. It makes it kind of more difficult than if you just go and run regular. But the horse came out great. I just think you have a good team. So not that I don't think that the United States have one, but I would love for y'all to give them a run for their money.
Yeah, and like we're working both on like individual skill development, like I'm talking about, but we're also working on a culture shift, and that was part of Rebecca bringing on Janelle Price to Florida to do a clinic, and that element was or component was as much about skill development for those riders as mentality. That Janelle is very straightforward and pushes people to be more competitive. And if you're not winning, you don't get to control the narrative. You don't get to say, oh, but in my program. Well, if you're not winning, then don't talk about your program. That should be embarrassing for you. You know, like she is very straightforward. She's pushing everybody to, you know, and I think that was insightful of Rebecca to bring her on, because we don't just have like a quality problem, a quantity problem. We have a culture problem in that we make, and maybe it's across the sport, I don't know, but particularly, you know, we find that people who are not achieving want to control their own narrative of why they went slow, or the horse was spooky of the crowds, or the ground was wet, and having sort of a more no-nonsense attitude about you're either being competitive or you're not. And if you're not, if you have a so-called program, it should be about targeting your weaknesses and adjusting your training pathway to accelerate your competitive trajectory. And that is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, I think it's really well said. I think simply put, if you want to win big competitions and you want to make teams, you need to beat everybody else, right?
Yep.
Like, and every time I've had, and it's certainly something you gain perspective in as you get older in the sport and you try to pass on to the next generation. But it's like, I mean, if you wonder why you're not there, we'll just go beat them and then you will be. It's pretty simple.
Absolutely. And that's the thing with Canadian High Performance as well. So we're working on it on that end. And then also funding is a thing. So our fundraising is two-tiered. There's like a corporate fundraising arm, and we also have a grassroots fundraising arm, which is really flying both last year and this year. And you know, it takes that money. It takes drive, it takes culture, it takes all these things. It takes buy-in by the riders. The riders have to have buy-in because they believe the selectors are following a process, and they believe that there's a plan, and they believe if they work hard, grant money will be given. Like this year, we gave 4 Nations Cup grants. That turned into over 300,000 in fundraising for individual athletes to bring extra horses, get coaching, bring in new owners. You know, that the team showed it supported up and coming athletes. Some of the results were good. Some of the results were a bit disappointing, but like that's part of growth. The US went through that, John, you remember sending horses overseas, and some of the results were more disappointing than good. And that growth that comes out of that, you know, transforms riders like Tammy Smith, who's just, you know, she did those trips early on that didn't actually go to plan, that actually have turned into those global competitive opportunities that, you know, programs try and give their riders, that then we see them winning medals and winning Kentucky. But you got to remember why that all happened. Personal dedication, personal sacrifice, and also program commitment.
For sure. So, and I think that's totally true. You got to stay. And the thing is, and this is where I think you're getting to, and then I want to ask you about something else, but it's about sticking with that then for years to come, not just doing it 1 year and thinking you're going to have the result next year. It's a long-term deal. So shifting gears just slightly, because I want to do this before we run out of time, if that's all right, Rick. El Mundo. I see him go. I knew him when you had him and he was a young horse, and you had, so it's a really cool story of that horse, which I think we've talked about on other shows, when you've been here previously. But he is a strong horse cross country, I believe. When I've seen him go, he is a goer. So how, and I don't know because I haven't looked up the scores. How do you foresee him as far as being able to be competitive on the flat at a 4-star test, and then going out around a 3-star cross country? Is that 3-star cross country going to make it easier for you to keep him manageable and be competitively fast, or is that going to be more of a challenge because it's not enough to ride at? I'm just sort of curious on that one.
Yeah, so I this year with the Pan Ams in mind, and listen, going to a 3.5-star on my 4/5-star horse is not part of the plan for the half owner Jonathan Nelson or my wife Emma. It's more because I want to do that. I want Canada to get their qualification. I always said, if my horse can be helpful in that situation, I'm happy to put myself forward for selection. If the selectors have something else in mind, 3-star horses, 4-star horses, more competitive horses, whatever they think, I'll respect that and I'll bow out gracefully. But I guess the idea of the selectors was to send the most experienced combinations. I think in England, we're so lucky to jump and do dressage and cross country in front of very big crowds and big atmosphere all the time. And I think that's a big priority, and the horse has that experience. And then this year, I competed him at intermediate level more than I competed him at 4-star and advanced. So you guys don't see that in the FEI, but if you look at his BE record, I think he was top 3 and I think 4 intermediates this year. So he's done those intermediate runs. He's done those intermediate runs inside the time, just to make sure that I've done that bit of the preparation, and that was very much Rebecca guiding that sort of preparation.
All right, cool. So what I get from that is that Mike Winters said he is going to crush all 4 of the Americans, win the individual gold at this year's Pan American Games. That's what I just heard. You heard it here first.
I wish you best of luck, Mike. And John just likes to do that little stir in the pot.
That's all right.
I mean, I didn't say it. He said it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we got what he said, and it was well put. And John, I think we have a run for the gold down there. We have a really good, strong U.S. team. I know they're prepping for the last. I like to see a head-to-head go, and it makes it just that more exciting. So
yeah,
wish you very much luck. I've been watching the Mexican team up here. I don't know how competitive they'll be, but you never know. They've been trying really hard to put some horses together and riders. So and I think, for statistics wise, it's the top 2 placing countries, and United States taken out of it. So if United States got gold, it would be silver, bronze that get qualified for the Olympics. Is that correct?
Yeah, and if we get gold and the United States gets silver and Brazil gets bronze, Brazil will still get to go.
Right. So a lot of people don't realize that, but that's the case for Brazil and the good, strong teams out there. They'll make the team and they'll get out there.
I'm sorry, it's getting dark outside, so I'm probably almost done.
You're fine. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Why didn't you do that from the beginning? We're nearly done, and now we can see you.
I can see your face.
Well, I started to not see myself, and I was like, I love looking at myself. So.
Right. I understand. It was better with the light off, to be honest. Listen, Mike, thank you for taking the time. In all seriousness, we're obviously cheering you on. I think you're going to crush it. And I can't wait to cheer all of my friends on there. It's going to be cool. So best of luck. And thank you again to everybody. Thank you to Stressless for the Stressless studio. Remember, everybody, again, one more time, centerlinedistribution.net. Use the promo code JRBOO, and you get 20% off of all of your orders in the month of October. So go get it. We'll be right back. And I think we're back with the American Pan Am team member here, Rick, Sydney Elliott, you got her up at Stableview.
I do.
So we'll see if you
did.
can get her to do any trash talking. I was unsuccessful here, but I'll keep working on Mike and
He
see if I
did
can
really
get something.
good trash talking. So
Yeah, well, I'll talk to him off the record, but I'll have it secretly recorded and he won't even know, and then we'll post it. It'll be great.
I did like a little bit like if we win gold, the Americans win silver.
You did Brazil.
It was in a very polite. I live in England now. We're more polite.
Yeah, but it's you. So I know there's more in there. All right, Mike, thank you. We'll be right back with Sydney.
Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them.
Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com. Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Your cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and thank you to Stressless for being our studio sponsor. We're not quite there with the studio, but we are here at Stableview with the great Sydney Elliott.
Hello.
And the QC Diamanter.
Yes.
Q.
Yes.
Look, congratulations.
Thank you so
You
much.
made the team.
Yes, finally.
Well, you know, it's like a lifetime, isn't it?
It
We
is.
try so hard at all this, and here you are.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So tell me, what are you doing at Stableview?
We are running the 4-star dressage and show jump, and we are choosing not to run cross country because we have the mandatory outing next week.
That's
Yeah.
where is that going to be?
Lockmoy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How has he been feeling?
Really good, really good. We've had some dressage outings at
Right.
Tryon, and now here, yeah, he feels really good. He feels ready.
Well, he looks fantastic.
So, thank you.
It wouldn't go without saying that Carol Stevens has been a big supporter of yours,
My gosh.
right?
Yeah, she's why this has all happened. My dreams have come true.
I mean, I remember back with Cisco, right?
Yes.
And you had a cool horse, and you and Elisa were doing stuff up at Great Meadows.
Yeah.
And so it's been a lot of work, just like you said.
Yes.
You're from
Louisiana.
that good old state with the big state bird of the mosquito.
Oh my gosh. Not quite.
Not quite. So tell me, what led you? Here we are. You got qualified. You know, you then were selected. What was the road here? Because you've been overseas with this horse.
Yes. So we have, I mean, gosh, like where do you want to start? Like we've applied for so many trips, you know, so many that we didn't get. And
Right.
then in 2021, we got the grant for Aachen and Buffalo. So that was amazing. We started at Aachen, stayed through the Netherlands, and made the most of it. And so that was, I think, that the biggest part of our kind of European experience and exposure. Like that was, I mean, when that opportunity came around, I said, let's stay as long as we can to make the most of it, because you never know when you're going to get back. So
Yeah, it's probably pretty smart, to your point. Like, going over there is a totally different mindset,
Yes.
right? Your horse flew over. You have
Yes.
a lot of things going on. You're trying to get ready. And it is great that you got a grant
Yes.
and were able to get over there. And then you got the U.S. experience being there. So you played your cards right. I mean,
you try to to make the most sense of the situation.
Right.
So, and then last year we also got a grant for Aachen, and so we went. It was a much shorter trip that year.
Right.
And then this year, Carol flew him over on her own dollar for Lemuelin. So. Yeah,
And that went well.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. So yeah, we've enjoyed our trips across the pond.
So have you freshened up on your Spanish? Are you going to Chile?
Oh my God!
Or is it Portuguese?
Wait, it's Portuguese.
Portuguese. That's
yes.
even harder.
I can't really understand anything.
So you just need to go.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I think I'm pretty good at that.
what's the plan on the last mandatory outing and the horses getting over to Chile?
So the mandatory outing, we're gonna run the 4-star dressage and show jump, and then an intermediate cross country. Then we all depart again.
Mm-hmm.
We meet back up at Fair Hill. We have our final gallop the Tuesday that week, and then we get in the dressage ring and run through our test Wednesday.
Wow.
Thursday they depart.
So that's terrific. So you got great teammates. You've
Yes.
got Mick Master C with
Yes.
Liz Holiday Sharp.
Mhm.
You've got Caroline Pimuchki.
Yes.
Sorry, Caroline. I always mess up that, and Dennis on your last name. And you got yourself.
Yes.
And then the fourth one is Sharon
Sharon.
White
Mhm.
on Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus.
Klaus.
Mhm.
So what a team. And then the traveling reserve, I believe, is Tammy.
Yes.
So a lot of butterflies,
You
not
know-
nervous yet. Kind of go wait until we get on that plane and we start heading over, or when it when you're going in the ring?
You know, it's interesting. I think I handle nerves in a different way. I'll have this. I never get butterflies really, so
Right.
It kind of manifests itself in. I feel like my girth is going to break this week. That kind of thing. So
I think I remember you telling me that
Yes.
at Great Meadows, and thank goodness you're all okay.
Yes.
You had a little head bump.
a little hit of the head.
Oh, and I'm so sorry because Carol was calling me and I was like, oh, what happened? Because I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So you're
no-
all good.
Yeah, all good. All
Yeah.
is great. But yeah, so like the butterflies really don't ever like hit me.
Right.
I mean, obviously we all handle nerves differently,
Sure.
and that's kind of the way it presents itself with me. Like I have this one worry, but it won't be about.
Well, at least you know that worry and you can go check that girth.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, new girth is coming.
It's coming right away.
Yeah.
Hey, it's really exciting to see you do this, and I know
Thank you.
Elisa's really excited
Oh,
for you.
my gosh.
I know I talked about Carol, her great family. She might not be there because she might be hunting somewhere, but
Yes.
that's fine. She can be there in
Yes.
spirit.
Yeah,
and
I'm
heart.
hoping.
Maybe she can jump on a plane and
I'm
head on over.
hoping that she will be there because it's almost heartbreaking that to even think that she won't make
Right.
it. So
And this is your first team.
yeah,
You get a
yeah,
pink
and
coat.
this horse, like, it's exciting.
Yeah,
so,
you've had him the whole time, right?
I was just joking with a friend of mine. I said, okay, I've decided on my deathbed, I'm wearing that pink coat, like, to the grave. Like,
It's going with me. That might
It
not.
is.
You need to put that in
It's-
there right now.
I am.
Say, hey,
It's going with
my
me.
pink coat's going with me.
no matter what.
Well, we're like really excited for
Thank
you.
you
We're going to
so
follow
much.
you. Thanks for joining us on the John and Rick Show. Thanks, Stress Less, which is a calming agent that really is working great on horses
Mm-hmm.
all over the world. Thanks for the studio support. We'll have it built the next time you come, and we'll have to have Sydney come back after she wins the gold
Absolutely.
at the Pan Ams.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.4ca.com. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and thanks to Stressless for building our studio, which is not here, we're at Stable View, but it is in the works. So thanks Stressless for being that sponsor. I am here with Karl Slezak. He is a Canadian team member for the Pan Am Games. So Karl, thanks for being here. How's it going?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell us, we're at Stable View. You're getting ready. Preparations are in for this really talented mare that you have. Tell us about her.
She's fantastic. She had a great weekend this weekend. The dressage, she feels awesome. Show jumping, she is very good at the moment, and I'm definitely looking forward to the Pan Ams, and she feels fit and ready to go. So hopefully everything just falls into place. But this weekend I tried to keep her a little slow, and she was not happy about that. It was an interesting round. It was not our prettiest round for sure. She just likes to run now.
Well, that's good.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. So you've had this mare for a while, because I've watched you go up the levels. She's really a cool mare, and you've done a great job with her. So tell us about where you got her and how that came about.
Yeah, we bought her as a 4-year-old in Ireland at one of the sales, and it was kind of an accident that we got her. Well, not an accident, but it was she was a mare that I tried and I liked, and wasn't really watching her in the sale, though. I was waiting for some others. And my wife's like, oh, she just bumped me. She's like, this one's going cheap. You should buy it. And I threw my hand up, and we got her on the first bid, and it worked out for us. We got her, and then I got home and I was like, wait a second, that was the one that reared and spun every time a horse came at her. I was like, crap. And then I don't sit on her for 2 months, and all the travel and us going from Canada to Florida. So I was stressing the whole time, but she worked out great. She was very spooky in the beginning. She's come a long way, and we had her for sale. That was the whole intention, was to sell her, and nobody. So thankfully nobody bought her.
How old is she now?
She's 10 this year.
10, great age.
Yeah.
So
good partnership with her.
So what is Canada's gear up for getting ready to go to Chile?
Well, we all got to do our own individual preps as far as last runs. I mean, Mike's in England, he ran there, and Colleen ran at Plantation, and Lindsay ran at. Lindsay is running this weekend at Lockmoy, I believe, and my last run was here. So we all got to do our final preps, and then from there, we all meet in Ocala for our staging the week before for the Pan Ams, and then we'll fly out of Miami.
Okay. So it sounds like also the U.S. riders and horses and Canada's horses are going out of the same charter?
And the Mexicans as well. So,
and the Mexicans.
Yeah,
at first we heard Mexico backed out and they were going to use an Army plane.
I didn't hear that. I know there was some issues for sure with the flights, but I think they've got it all sorted.
They got it all sorted.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're going to be able to get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
So a little bit about yesterday's course. It was Mark Phillips. It was not an easy course.
No, it wasn't an easy course. I mean, I don't think it was the biggest course I've seen Mark put together, but there was enough to do. There was definitely a little bit of everything. Good water, good sunken road, lots of corners as usual.
Right.
A few good skinnies. I mean, definitely it was a good track. I was really excited about it for Bobo's last run. I was like, it'll just keep her on her toes and ready to go, really. So no, it was a great track. I really enjoyed it.
That's super. We had several going as well, and Briggs thanks Briggs for filming, did his first advance, which is just a couple of fence changes from, and they did great. So it was a good course for everybody. Nice. You're based in Ocala.
Yeah.
And how are you liking that?
This summer was hot. I mean,
it was hot everywhere.
No, but that's true. Yeah. I don't mind the heat. I'd much rather the heat than the cold any day. Right. but this summer was hot. Other than that, it's been great. I mean, there's lots of horse shows. There's lots to do as far as it's a great horse community. There's lots of people that stay around all year round. So there's always things like people to help out and get together with. So it's a good time.
So your passport's up to date.
Yep. We are set and
ready to go. What's your takeoff? What's the departure date?
I believe the horse, I haven't heard a final confirmed date. It sounds like it's going to be the 21st or 22nd for the horses, and we'll fly out at the same time.
Then plans for 2024? You speak French?
Yeah. Sadly, I took it all through elementary school, and I don't remember a lick of it. So, I got to brush up on the French. But hopefully, yes, that would be, I mean, that's on the radar for sure. We'll be aiming for that, and it'll be up to the selectors whether we get there or not.
So, United States versus Canada, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I think y'all have got a great team, and U.S. is sending a pretty strong team as well. I think Alyssa's back there in the back. That's a reserve rider, so hand over to her. There we go. So a lot of plans going on. Best of luck to the North American continent. I think y'all might give the United States a run for their money.
Yeah, no, I think we got a great team this year, a nice strong team. Should be good.
Now I know pressure's on as we wind this down. Is it gold or silver that Canada needs for the invitation to Paris?
So it's the top two. You can get two teams can qualify at the Pan Ams, and it doesn't matter
because the U.S. is
already qualified. So it doesn't. So the two teams that are not two highest placed teams that are not qualified at this moment will get qualifications at the Pan Ams.
All right. Well, I know Canada's going to do it. You've got a great team.
Yeah,
also, just so everybody knows, it's not the format like the Olympics. It's the original 4-member team.
Yes.
Drop score.
Yep.
Drop score.
Yeah, and it's going to be a 4-star dressage and show jumping and 3-star cross country.
Great. Well, Karl, good luck. I know Hot Bobo is going to go out there and do it for you, and have a safe trip.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, John, that was a great interview with Karl, wasn't it?
Yep. It was good of Karl to take the time. I know it's always tough when you're at the event to have somebody come up and swoop in and ask you to talk about yourself and your horses. But we appreciate that he did it. And it's, this was absolutely the Pan Am episode. We got all those guys in. So thanks to Mike and Karl and Sydney, and good luck to all of the athletes going to the Pan Ams from all the countries. Those are just the ones that we got for this episode.
Right.
Rick, we've got exciting things going on with the show. Like we've talked about, we've got our new studio that's nearly complete. We're here technically in the Stressless studio as it is. And we also have next week, the Maryland episode, the Maryland show, not next week, but in 2 weeks time, on the Thursday of Maryland horse trials. We are going to have all kinds of preview. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff going on having to do with the Maryland horse trials. So you guys need to make sure you come back and check that one out as well.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. And things are starting to happen fast, John. Like you said, it's October already. We're going to be at the end of the year at the USEA convention soon.
Oh, man. Forgot about that.
St. Louis, here we come. Just so you know, as we wind this down, we are going this year, and it's in St. Louis. And Briggs has never been to St. Louis, so it's going to be fun to go somewhere he's never been and enjoy the convention. Not being a member of the board, but I am on a committee, the rider committee, so I'll be doing a little bit of stuff. But are you going?
Yeah, of course I'm going. I can't not go. And I think actually, we need to think about that, like how we could do more interviews and things from.
I think we should.
We've got the technology now, so I think we could do it and do a good job for everybody so they could get a little bit of a behind the scenes taste of what the convention's all about. We need to think on that.
It's a good idea. We're going to do that. Thanks everybody out there for helping us work through that brainstorm.
Yeah, it was great. They're so helpful.
You know what? Great episode. Great show. I can't wait for the next one, John. Thanks always. You're such a great partner. And thanks everybody for listening. And make sure you go to all the podcast places. Make sure you like us on the YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
X. I think it's called X. Yeah, I can't get that yet, but I'm trying, Elon. I'm trying. All right, man. Thanks so much.
See ya.
Good seeing you.
Take care. Bye.
have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.